over her young kids' shoulders and help us turn a sock into an armband. She was doing what she could to win better schools and more affordable housing in our community, to raise our neighbors' consciousness about the Vietnam War and apartheid in South Africa. The fourth branch will help us all do what we can with more clarity and impact by explaining how power works in our country and how we can be most effective. This book gives us a roadmap to improving America on every level, from our local community to our nation as a whole.
Prologue. I almost stayed home. I'd been invited to speak at a holiday party down the street, but it was my son's third birthday, and there was no way I'd leave our place before he went to bed. As the local state senator in our Brooklyn neighborhood, I was not accustomed to being invited to speak at people's holiday parties. In nearly a decade in office, this was my first invitation to speak at someone's social gathering. I mean, have you ever invited your state rep to hang out with you? If you did, I guarantee they show up. December 2016 was a different type of holiday season. In our community, people were shell-shocked by Donald Trump's election. They didn't understand what had happened or what it meant for the country. They were scared and couldn't figure out what they should do. They were upset enough to invite a state senator to address their holiday party. This party was a gathering of the kid-lit industry, the authors, editors, and publishers who create and distribute everything, from the board books my 3-year-old had received that afternoon to the young adult novels that provide the source material for hit Netflix shows. I was excited by the chance to reach a group of people who wouldn't normally engage with state politics. But, as well-meaning as the invite was, I doubted that the guests really wanted a civics lesson. It seemed inevitable that I'd tuck my kids in, bundle up against the cold, show up at the party, and be told that I was too late. The party would be in full swing. Why ruin a good time? But I was a state senator. If someone invited me to speak to 100 people in a room, that's what I'd do. If they had the bad idea of stopping their holiday party to listen to me, well, I had a spiel. When I got to the brownstone, a jazz band was taking a break in the back of the parlor. They'd go back on after I finished. The bar had holiday-themed signature cocktails. Silver appetizer trays were being passed between the guests. It was a party fit for a fairy tale. I wasn't exactly late, though I wasn't on time either. As I entered, I was firmly shuffled a few feet from the door, where I took off my jacket. A jazz-era mic appeared, and one of the hosts shushed the crowd. "If an asteroid hit this house tonight," she said, framed by the brownstone's front windows, what would the children read? I was introduced to tell us if there's anything at all we can do right now. Despite the festive accoutrements, there was a pall over the room. It was almost like being introduced for a eulogy. These were connected, successful people. They were the source of many things kids read, but they felt helpless. They were desperate for hope, and the things they'd been told to do so far didn't cut it. If nothing else, I'd offer something different. Raise your hand if you think resisting Trump is the most important thing you can do in politics. Everyone did. It's not. Raise your hand if you think your most important representative serves in Congress. Most kept their hands raised. They don't. Raise your hand if you think governors control state government. More doubtful, but still a majority. That's wrong. The president and Congress matter, governors too, but it's nearly impossible for 100 people in a room to change what happens in Washington or in a governor's race. They nodded along. Despite my adversarial tone, it wasn't a controversial claim. It's like voting, I continued, eliciting quizzical stares. Of course it's important to vote. It's civic obligation, our democracy depends on it, and everything. But your vote will never decide the outcome of a statewide election. Footnote. Many of the scenes contained herein, including this one, are based on contemporaneous notes and represent my best attempts to portray them accurately. They may contain inadvertent errors. For example, in reality, I probably said, "Your vote will never decide the outcome of an election." If I did say that, I was grievously wrong.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.